I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand joined other Senate Democrats in a rally against gun violence outside of the Capitol on Thursday. Her remarks came 2 days after a gunman opened fire at a Texas elementary school, killing 19 children and 2 adults. In impassioned remarks, the New York Democrat said it's disgraceful that Congress, quote, cannot overcome the greed and corruption of the gun lobby. Here's more from Senator Gillibrand.
Thank you all for rallying in front of the Capitol. It really matters. This has been a moment of fear and anger and tears and fury. It is crippling to be this angry and this infuriated by the lack of action by people who hold all the power. It is a disgrace in this country that Congress cannot overcome the greed and corruption of the gun lobby. It is an outrage that they cannot stand up to the NRA and those who want to give weapons to anyone at any time for any reason. It is an outrage that in the last 2 weeks, 2 18-year-old men can walk into a store and buy military-style weapons when they cannot walk into a store and buy cigarettes. It is an outrage that an 18-year-old man can buy a military-style weapon that our military trains our service members for years on how properly to use them. To drive a car, you have to train, you have to get a license. We have so many requirements on 18-year-olds, but not on the ability to buy a military-style weapon that is designed solely to kill large numbers of people quickly in a moment of war. They should not be allowed to buy these weapons, period. Because the truth is, an 18-year-old cannot go buy a tank. An 18-year-old cannot go buy a shoulder-powered missile. An 18-year-old cannot even rent a car, but he is yet allowed to buy a military-style weapon that is designed to kill large numbers of people very quickly. No one should be allowed to buy military-style weapons in the civilian world, period. So community after community in this country has suffered so dearly. I was in Buffalo with President Biden, where he came to console these families, to talk to these families, to empathize with their loss. And I met the 3-year-old whose father went to the grocery store just to buy him a birthday cake, who lost his life doing that simple fatherly thing. So it's just a moment of rage and fury and tears and anger, but you must motivate yourselves and take all that fury and channel it to the next election. Everything changes when we change who is in power. Everything changes when we have people who will stand with us. Everything changes when we have the rule of law supporting us. So fight in this election like your life depends upon it, because it truly does.